1990. We will understand about this, about time between 1950, from 1950 to 1990. Okay, what happened? Okay, between this time. First of all, here given word collaboration. Collaboration means in short word we say global. Yeah, global. So what do you think about global? Okay, what happened global word? What is meaning? Already you know in simple you can say. You can define this word such as you will say global means at world interconnection with among countries. Yeah, this will be your answer. Your answer this will be. This may be. So okay, it is right. But with more definition, we can define this word. Okay. So global means okay at world, multiple national, multiple multinational. Yeah. And when we say trade is happening among national, trade is happening among nations. Whatever is happening with each other countries, that is known as a global. Okay, we will understand about this globalization word deeply. Whatever here given sentences that related to globalization. So here we are duty to teach. We are duty to understand what to your perspective. Am I right? So globalization word already we hear in our daily life, day to day life. As I told you, what global means at world. Global means uh, whatever is happening among countries. Yeah, whatever is happening with each other countries. Yeah, and now. Suppose in our country something don't in our country, India country, don't have something material for the development for the country. Then our country will be depend on another country for help. For help. Our country will be depend on another country. Are you getting it? So my word, meaning of my word is what other country will help to our country. It is known as globalization. It is known as global. Means between two countries are not a barrier. Between two countries are not a barrier. Between among countries are not a barrier. It is known as globalization. Yeah. Suppose your country, suppose another country, America country. So in America country, if if another country bracket, what America country. In America country, something don't have, okay? Don't have something. Then America country will be depend on another country, okay? Where that material will be available. Then America country will take help from another country. So here if any country don't see any barrier to take help from another country, then it is called as globalization. Am I right? So here we understood a multiple in a multiple definition of globalization. Okay? So Indian economy, already you know, in the back lecture we understood about Indian economy. And in this lecture, as I told you, between this time we are going talking about. Between this time we are going talking about. Okay, it's our part, and it will be our part. Globalization, as we have discussed in our perspective, in our words. Let's understand through this definition. Globalization is used to describe how trade and technology have the world into more connected and interdependent place. Interdependent place we have understood. We had understood. But now we need to understand what about trade and technology through this definition. So in this definition, we have word what technology and trade with globalization. What is meaning of this? So trade means what? One person will trade from their country to, in another country. Am I right? For the production, you can say for the business, for the product. Yeah, person can trade into another country for any purpose. Okay. So here trade word is coming. So trade almost are used in the business, in the production, in the product, where when we purchase product, this word will be would defined in the product. When we purchase product from another country, from one place to another place. Okay. So it is word is used almost with a trade person, with a businessman person, almost 90% you can say. Okay, and technology. Technology is it is clear word, but it is said technology will will tell us what impact situation before situation and after situation. How means in our country without technology, what was the situation of our country? You can understand, you can imagine without technology how will be our how will be situation of our country. Okay, how will be situation of our country. So now we have a technology, so you can see situation here in our country a lot of things have developed. So my point is what here in our country will be impacted, will be impact, will be impact. Yeah, am I right? Means technology are used in another country. So if we are at globalization, then technology from another country in our country will come. Then on our country will be impact, will be effect, will be impact. Okay, effect you can say and you can say impact. So my word is what? My word is whatever are used in a technology, whatever technology are used in another country, in another country, uh, instead of what our country. So whatever technology are used in another country, suppose in America country, if now we are at globalization, then technology of America will come in our country because we are globalization. So here we don't look any barrier, then technology will come automatically. But here, here there are some condition and terms as you listen. Yeah. When you operate your mobile, then you will see what sometimes terms and policy you need to accept. If you want to accept, then you can accept. So first of all, terms and conditions. Why this in front of you come this come? Why? Because it is necessary for the responsible. If you will, if you will accept these terms and conditions apply, then you will be responsible, not who is owner of this app. Okay, clearly. So our point was what technology through technology, our country our country have made what our country came on the world. Name of our country came on the world. Okay. So in our country, people are fighting in our country. People are fighting. So another country will look what is happening in India country. Then another country will say, another country at least can give what perspective, opinion, what will be wrong, what is right. At least another country can give this information for our country. So we are fighting in our country. So another country can look, okay. Another country can decide. At least can say, Indian people government, you can listen to me. This won't be right. If you like this, will fight. Then for yourself, it won't be right. So America country will give a perspective different. Then USA will give a perspective different. Okay. Then Canada country give perspective. So different perspectives. So it is so what helping. Okay. Whereas in another country, the people of America country are fighting among the people, then our country can give information, can give a perspective, can give opinion, because it's a duty. We are at globalization. It's our duty. Okay. So here there are some words, there are major some words, you can say. There are minor some words from which we can say what, suppose barrier word. Okay. So if we wanted to trade in another country, then we want to look barriers. Okay. So before globalization, what do we say? What did what had what had we see? What did we see? So before globalization, okay, before globalization, we look barriers in the process of trade. When we want to trade, when we did want to trade, then our government will said what, we can't trade in another country from our country. You can't trade. So there is a so what barrier. Whereas today we can compare. Okay, we can compare, but today we don't look, as I told you, we don't look barrier in any process. But you can't put violation. You can't violation. Okay, violence. You can't violence because it will be wrong. It will be disrespect of our country. Okay. If you anything, if you want to do anything, okay, you can. But whereas only violence word is not for you, want to be for you. Okay. Then everything you can. But violence is compulsory. Something you can see more thing. A lot of thing we have we can do what we can access educations, product, and earning process. A lot of things. There are a lot of things we have. But whereas one side, if we want to do wrong, then our government will stop doing. Okay. So as I used what violence word. So trade and technology we have understood. Made the word into more character. So trade almost it is used what trade when we trade into another international on international. So it is so what more connected among countries. Whereas the technology in another country are used to technology, then that technology will come in our country. So it is a connection. It is a connection of another country. So it will connect to another country. Okay. And interdependent place. About interdependent, we have understood. Okay. If we want to understand again, then okay. Interdependent means our country will be depend on another country. Our country will be depend on another country. in something material, in something process, whereas another country will be depend on something material, something process. Am I right? You can imagine. If you see information, then you will realize this. Okay. Here, only we are talking about through help of theory. Okay, and through theory, we can imagine, we can think what interdependent. Our country will be depend on another country will be depend on our country. So here we can imagine, we can think, yeah, like this can be happen, can happen. Yeah. So next sentence. Next sentence about 1950, from 1950 to 1990. About between time we are going talking about now. So we understood first of all polarization. It was compulsory for us. After the independence of India, so our India was independence on 1947. Am I right? So just after 3 years, because when our India was independent, when our India had independence, so in our country will decide what will be wrong, what will be right. Okay, it is a normal. But whereas people, for people, what will be right, what will be wrong? Because people is people. Yeah, people will be what? People will be violent in this process. People will say, but our right, this our right must have. Yeah, this right, this right, or this right must have for us. So 3 years apart from 3 years from 1950. So after the independence of India, the leaders had a task before them means in front of them leaders. So before the independence, as I told you, just what will be wrong, what will be right for the people. So our leader can decide. Okay, leader is compulsory. Who is main member? So here in our country was main member. This type of a leader. So here we normally can say the leader will have what difficult attacks, difficult challenges. Okay, and our leader had task before them. Had a task. So task here word is coming. So what is the meaning of this word here? Okay, meaning of this word is task means you can say policy for the government, economy for the government. What will be economy? Planning of Indian country. It was the task for the leader, for the country. So leader will decide. Okay, but among people, with people, not only perspective of leader, not only perspective of leader. Leader can think this policy will be right. This policy like this should be happen, should happen. But whereas after the planet in front of a public, leader will keep this policy and will this leader will ask to the public. Okay. So there are a lot of things our leader can ask to our public. So we here what task. So task clear. Next, the economic future of the nation had to be decided. It is our task. It was our task. It had our task. Okay, economic system. And today we talk about this more. Why? It is compulsory. 90%, you can say 95%, it is compulsory. It will be compulsory in upcoming time. Economy will decide situation of India, GDPs of India. Okay, GDPs of a country. Economy will decide. Clearly? So economy from this time, what will be better for the economy of India? So economy for the India, it had a task before them leader. Okay, they had to be decide means this leader had to be decide an economic system for the our nation. Okay, had to be decide the economic future. The economic future of the nation had to be decided. Clear? So first of all, it and you can say it is major. It had a major task. Okay. Whereas they had to decide an economic system which would be most suitable for the nation. So here the economics word is coming more time. Why? It is a feeling of people. It will be feeling of people. It will be data for the people, for the country. Okay. It will be more compulsory. So compulsory. Okay. So here, what they had to do the economic feature. Okay. They had to design an economic system which would be most suitable. Means if from this time our leader will say will decide what okay, that's it. This economic system will be better for our country. At least our people can survive as a standard living. Only that's it. But no, like this no. Our country is our leader had decided what as a comfortable we will decide what our economic country, our economic system for the nation with comfortable, with openly mind. Okay, and you can think what without technology from on this time without technology how can this leader decide our economic future and today we are surviving same on this economic system. Okay, as a standard living we are at least we are living. Okay, and you can say whatever are coming data related to economic system you can see at least middle higher we are at middle higher level. Okay, so here our leader thought what our economic system would be suitable for the nation. Yeah, in upcoming time, our people of a country couldn't couldn't face from anything problem, from anything difficult challenges. Okay, so like this must be what economic system for the our nation. Clear? A system had to be devised. Devised means ready. Okay. A system had to be devised that would promote the welfare of all. Here you are looking what related to economic system, not related to time. So here we can connect. So economic system will be better. Then here we need to focus what welfare for the all people. Okay, welfare. So our government what to do? What to do? Our government what to do? Our government do what? Our government to do what? Our government work as a welfare for all people. Am I right? For all people. Then they had to okay clear. So in our economic system on this data, the leaders said whatever our economy will be, then in our economic system, our government will be promote welfare for all people. This point must be in our economic system. Welfare is compulsory. Our government will decide for the people as a welfare. Okay, as a welfare, our government will decide. Whenever our government will come in our country after 5 years, then that government will decide as a welfare. It is a clear point. Okay, because it is mentioned in our Indian Constitution and in our economic system. Okay, clear. So promote of welfare in our economic system must be. Okay. Socialism applied the most to the then Pierre Johanna. So about it, we will understand in upcoming sentence. He was not in favor of a socialism provided in the USSR. Okay, you can say about it. We don't know. Okay. USSR. So he was not. So he who our PM Jawaharlal Nehru. This was this is our first prime minister. Okay? This is our first prime minister. So he was not in favor. Means if we see what socialism applied the most to the here Jawaharlal Nehru. Means socialism it attracted to the our prime minister to the our first prime minister on this hand. But whereas here in the next sentence are saying to us, but it doesn't mean what the our first prime minister was was in favor. It doesn't mean in favor of socialism. Our first prime minister was not in favor of socialism provided in the USA. It is clear point, okay? Because socialism attracted most to the our first prime minister. Here, all the means of production, that is, all the factories and farms in the country were owned by the government. Means socialism means okay. He was not in favor of socialism, but here all this means what is the meaning of this? Here all this means of production, that is all the factories, all the farms in the country is owned by the government, were owned by the government, will be owned by the government. Here, so here in this sentence we are looking what meaning of socialism. Okay, means this doesn't mean this person is in favor of what socialism. Rather, all meaning of this is what all the factories, all the farm is are owned what were owned by the government, by the Indian government. Okay, there was no private property, but private property should happen, should be in our country, and responsible. Okay. It will be out of context. Yeah. So there was no private property. So here we can't happy. We can't be happy. This is not is right. Okay. This is not right. Okay. In this matter, in the government matter, our private companies won't be involved. But private property, private companies. Okay, here the private property. Okay, property. So private property means these factories, these farms are not private properties. Next, this is government property. This is government property. This will be in the hand of Indian government. In the government. This was not ideal for India, which was a democracy. Okay. So at least the factories and farms in the our country is owned by the government. So this was not ideal, as we are as our country have a democracy. Nehru and other leaders already devised a plan. What is that plan? They combined the economic system of capitalism. They combined the economic system of capitalism and socialism. About socialism, we understood just okay. Whatever are factories, farms. So this is owned by the government. Whereas capitalism, we will understand. So they combined means what? Nehru and other leaders combined economic system of capitalism and socialism. Picnic picking the best of both. Means only here we need to understand what our Nehru and other leaders combined the economic system what as a capitalism and socialism. Okay, India would be a socialist society. India would be a socialist society. Socialism and socialist. It is related word. So India would be a socialist society with a strong public sector. With a, okay. So this was concern of our leaders, but also with the private property and democracy. Here we discussed what there was no private property. So here saying what our private sector will come in our country for their work. Okay, but private property won't come barrier would come as a barrier. Okay. So socialist society, okay, with a strong public India would be a socialist with a public government, public sector. But whereas private property and democracy is compulsory. What? Private property and democracy would be. India would be private property means another country can't use this our property. And whereas India would be democracy. And today you are reading Indian Constitution, then you will realize what about democracy in the our Indian Constitution are mentioned. Okay. So India would be what socialist society, and India would be strong public sector. Means India would be a socialist society with a strong public sector. Whereas India would be private property. India would be democracy. Okay. So here four words coming. India would be strong. India would be a socialist society. Yeah. Socialist society means okay. You can understand all the factors, all the farms will be owned by the government. Okay. This is known as socialist. With this strong public. Okay. India would be private property. India would have private property. India would be democracy. The government would plan for the economy. The government. After the leaders who would plan for the economy of our country. So India, no. So government will be responsible for the country. Yeah, government will decide what will be right and what will happen for the country. Okay, for the our. So who will be responsible? Our Indian government. Okay. So the government would plan for the country. So it was discussed on this attack. It is a major point for the economy, for the Indian economy. The government, okay. The private sector would be encouraged so that private sector can come in our area and private sector can build to your business, okay, as a businessman, okay, as a production, so that at least private companies can help in the progress of our Indian country, okay, in the GDPs, in the economy. So here private sector would be encouraged. Okay. In the next slide, three questions we need to ask itself. Okay, three questions, and three questions will be impact on our question. Okay. So three questions. What are that? What are those three questions? Okay. What are goods? What are goods and services? So goods and services already we had understood. We had understood. So again in this slide, we need to understand them. Okay. If you wanted to understand again, goods means in other word we say product. Whereas service means I am teaching you. It's a simple example of service. Okay. In service include what doctor, teacher, lower, and you can say wages, small wages. Okay. And what there are a lot of service, but it is some example of service. Okay. So in front of you, here is an example of service. What teaching? So I am teaching you. It is a service. So here we need to focus one thing, what one part. But I am not providing a product, any type of a product. I am providing teach. I am providing service as a teaching. Okay, through teaching. So it is known as a service because here anything product I am not providing. Okay, you. I am not providing you. So whereas any person are providing product, then that is known as goods. That is product. Okay, that is not known as service. Okay. So an example, through an example, we understood service about service word. Then example of what goods, what will be. So example of word, what for goods, what stationery shopkeeper will provide you what something, you can say marker, pen, book, pen, okay, map, board. So this is what physical product, and physical is our service. Okay. So through this product, through service, people earn money, and this earn money are included in the economy of a country, in the GDP of a country. Are you getting it? Okay. So what goods and services should be produced? It's a question. Only it's a question. What what goods and services should be produced? Means without this nothing can happen. Without goods and services, producer of goods and services, nothing can happen. Yeah. And there are a lot of point related to this question. Okay. Should producer use more human labor or more capital? Means capital machines. When we invest in machines, so that is known as capital. Okay, means that machine will give in a return, will give in a return what money, more money. So that's why we are investing in any on any machine. So that is our what capital. Okay, through this machine we will use for the our work. So it is a helper machine. It is a helper tool for our work. Okay. So should a producer use more human labor? Means here what a producer person need to human labor more, and with and what capital tools machines should producer use more for producing things, goods and service. Okay, so almost goods you can say here because produce word is coming. So its application means what? For the producing of anything material, producer person should should use what more human labors. Means human labors is are what means through human are worked, through human by human are worked in any production, in any sector, in any factor, okay, in any area, through human. That is not human labor. Okay, through capital are worked in any sector. Okay, any person any person can investment on tools, on machine for the work. So it is simple. But whereas human labor, meaning of human labor, what human are working. So it is not human are working, not a machine are working. Okay. So machine, whereas machine are working, it is known as capital tool. Whereas human are working, so it will be what human labor. Simple thing. So here should producers should use more human labor what, or more capital machines capital for producing anything material. Okay. How should the goods and service be distributed among? After the produce of goods and services, how this type of goods and services should be produced? Yeah, should be should be distributed, okay, among people, among public. Okay, how? Means any technical method should be for the distribute among people. Yeah. So how we can distribute among people these types of goods and service after produced goods and service? How can? Okay. So first question is our word. What goods and service should be produced? Means it is compulsory or not? It is compulsory. First of all. Okay. Without this, can we not survive? Can we not survive without this? Without goods and services? So, answer we have what? We have answer what? Answer will be what? No. We can't survive without the goods and service. It's a normal answer. It's a normal question. But whereas we need to identify, we need to focus on this question in deeply to clarify. Okay? In deeply. Here saying this sentence is saying what's the goods and service should be produced. Then we can say yeah, should be produced. These types of goods and service should be produced. It is compulsory. It will be compulsory for the economy. Economy is known as goods and services for our perspective. Okay, goods and services are used in the economic subject in the economic topic more. And whenever you will study in this subject in this connection, then you will realize what this word goods and service. So only through word of goods and service we don't need to understand. Meaning of goods is word. Meaning of a service is word or word. Okay, here as we understood, as we discussed what goods means products. Products means this is product. This is product means this product is in physical form. Okay, whereas service will be in unphysical form. Means in service we don't produce anything material, any kind of a material we don't produce. Then we say that is known as what service. Whereas in goods, any person will produce, any person product are produced by the what? So it is out of context. Okay. So this product. Okay. It's a simple. In any shopkeeper we go for the any purchase. Okay. Then shopkeeper whatever we want to purchase, then we will say okay. I want marker. Then shopkeeper will give you marker. Then so it is what in physical form you are giving, you are taking it product. Okay. Whereas we people need to understand what good will be in physical form and service will be in the unphysical form. Whereas goods, this is an example, and service example is what I am teaching you. So it doctor provide service as a concern. Okay. Clear. Should producer. Okay. Here on level do we need more? Or we need more and more capital muscles. How should the goods and services be distributed among people? Yeah. So here we need technical method from which we can distribute among people, among public, because here a lot of people. So how can we distribute among people? So here we need what technical method, some major method from which we can distribute it among people. So let's start to answer. Okay, an economic system. So here given simple word, an economic system. An economic system is a mechanism with the help of which the government plans service, resources and commodities across the country. Across the country. So here we need to understand what an economic system. Okay, an economic system is a mechanism. Means what is a system. Already in first topic of this subject we had understood. But here Replace this is a word of word system. So an economic system is a mechanism. Means as a mechanism, as a machine, our economic system are working. Okay, are working. With the help of which the government plans service, resources and communities across the government. Means an economic system will run from the help of government. Whatever our government will provide plans a service. So this is a helper. Okay, this is helper. So it will be compulsory because it is a connection with the country. Any economic system will be compulsory, but with the government because government can decide. Okay, government can decide through your perspective. Okay, in a place, a lot of leader in a major number, government government have medic have medic. So for this matter, our readers have medic. Okay. So here we we understood what an economic system is a mechanism. Means it is a processing of mechanism. It is a processing of work. Okay. So but whereas it should be connection with the government. So our government is with the connection of plants, service and resources and communities. Our government would plan, our government would provide service to the public, whereas our government will have resources and our government will provide resource to the people, whatever people need to do. Okay. Whereas communities for the minorities, for the majorities, as a need, as a need. So government will say, yeah, government can say. Okay. So and that's it. So next we are moving to more. Economic system manages elements of production combining wealth, labor, wealth means money, but at a large. Okay. Labor means human labor. Any person do work. Okay. That is known as labor. So this person may be on small wages and on a higher wages and you can say middle wages. So in our Indian country, as a population in our Indian country, we'll see what as a middle wealth, middle wages, wealth, labor, physical resources. Physical resources means what? Machines. Should be machine. Okay, means here machine capital. So any person will invest on tools, on physical tools. And so that we can we can see. Okay, we can see. So it resource will help to us, to production people, to organization people. Okay, and business people and business people. So it's an element. It are element. Okay, element of economic system. So it will be compulsory. It are measure. These are measure element production of economic system. Okay. So here wealth will be compulsory, labor, physical resources, and business people. Four. Apart from this, there are there are more elements of production of economic system. But this is, you can say, this is measure. These are measures. What is the capitalist economy? What is capitalist economy? So it will be related to this word. Okay. So here socialism and capitalism we had understood, we had read in backslide, but here given what question about capitalist economy. What is capitalist economy? In a capitalist system, the products manufactured are divided among people, not according to what they want, but on the basis of a purchasing power, which is the ability to buy products and services. What is the meaning of this? Meaning is here what in a capital system. So the products manufactured are divided among people. Means this one through this what we can say what not according to the public wants according to the what purchasing power. What are purchasing power in marketing? So according to purchasing power, this will this will be decided. Okay, so product this will be decided means product manufacturer products that can be manufactured are divided in among people. So through according what through according to purchasing power, not according to public wants, which is the ability to buy products and service. Means here you can imagine you go to the shopkeeper and you wanted to purchase what oil product. Then you will ask what is the price of this bottle. Then shopkeeper will say what price of this bottle is 300. Then you will say you will be shocked. What? This is price of this bottle. What are you saying? So here you can't purchase this bottle. Okay, you can't purchase this bottle. So according to your this is not price. According to your this is not price. According to purchasing power. Okay. Suppose whereas you can think you can imagine what here 350 price is this bottle. This is price of this bottle is 350. Whereas okay, uh, the price of this bottle had what how much 50. Then you say wow. Then you can buy a lot of a bottle. Then you can buy a lot of a bottle. So here the economic system will decide what according to purchasing power you can buy, and you can not buy a lot of a thing. When you when can buy when can you buy a lot of a thing, a lot of material? When you will realize what price of this is minimum, at least 50 bottles I can buy. So our government is looking on the public to the public what our public is buying a lot of things. So here purchasing power will come. Then purchasing power will say what according to your need. What are you need? Then only according to need you you buy this product. Okay. So let's move to next. Here. This means that an individual needs to have the money with him buy the goods and service. Okay. Here price of our private education is what higher is at higher. Okay, is at higher. So here individual will have need to have the money. The individual person where where individual person will be come will come, yeah, will take fees payment where, yeah. So here any of this sentence is here individual need will have need to have the money, at least that person can survive to their life. Okay, can survive as a standard living. So here according to goods, according to service, our individual person will survive. Yeah. So here you can imagine inflation of our material will be at a higher level. Then a lot of people will think what before buying of any material. But whereas inflation of any material will be will be low, then individual person won't be won't thing for buying any material. Okay, clear. So at least here we can feel what purchasing power. What are our purchasing power? I can buy this material. Yeah. So here purchasing power will be less when will be less when when material of this price of this material will be minimum, then we will realize what purchasing power is low. And whereas price of this material will be at a higher level, then we will realize what price of this is at higher level. I can't buy this material. Okay, I can't buy this material. So this is purchasing power. Okay, what is it? So now we are moving to next. Okay, when individual needs to have the money, when individual will have need to buy any product, and or you can say when individual should service in the education, as I told you through an example of a private education. So individual will have need to what to investment in children's education. Yeah. So here family will have need to have the money for the children's education, for the children's health, for their health. Okay. What is the socialist economy? As we understood, as we have a discussion about the what is capitalist economy, but whereas what is the socialist economy? Okay, this is to measure definition. What is the socialist economy? Okay, what is the socialist economy? This economic system acknowledges the three inquiry in the different way. Three. About the system of socialist economy, we can accept through wave of three inquiries vision. Okay. In a socialist system, the government determines what products are to be manufactured to accordance with the requirements of the society. Here you can measure, you can realize what according to the need of the society, our government will determine what product will be produced. What product will be produced according to the need of the society. Our government will determine. Okay, so it will be compulsory because here our government are deciding from the from the help of our government, our public. So here participation of public are coming in the nation person. Okay, so it will be compulsory. So here we can say socialist society should be involved. Public should be involved in the socialist economy. So here role of government we see. Here role of public we see. So public, what are role of public? Our government will ask, will see need of the society people. Then our government will decide what we need to produce. What we need to produce. Okay, clear. So here in socialist system we can say what according to help of a society, our government will determine for the producing of anything. Then our government will allow to the produce produce. Then product are produced for the then product are manufactured for the socialist people. It is believed that the government understands what is appropriate for the citizens of the country. Therefore, the passions of individual buyer are not given much attention. Means what? Here government are paying attention on the public, but whereas here our government are not paying attention on the buyers. Okay, on the buyers. Means buyer means what? Buyer means we are we are purchasing anything. Okay, we are purchasing anything. So we are individual. We are not buyer. Buyer means work is buyer of work is buyer of work is what a lot of to buy a lot of thing for the selling. It is known as a buyer's person. Okay. So here our government won't pay attention on the buyers, whereas our government will pay attention on the where on the public. It is believed that the government understands whatever is appreciated for the citizens, that will be right. That will be right. So our government our government what feeling can understand. So passion of individual buyer are doing hard work, and whereas our government are not paying attention on buyers person, because buyer person are earning money, so it will be compulsory. Okay, one side our government are paying attention on the public, but other side buyers are also public. Okay, here need to attention on the buyers, because this involves where this involves in the GDP of a country, in the economy of a country. In the next slide, we will the government concludes. Now, government concludes overall. Government concludes how products are to be created, and how the products should be disposed. So our government will find out, conclude. Okay. A socialist, so it is only conclude. Our government will conclude, will find out, conclude about product are to be created, how to be created, how products are to be created, whereas how the product should be disposed. So our government will find out, conclude. A socialist society, a socialist system. About socialist we had understood, but our government will take a decision according to according to need of the society. Our government will take a decision in the processing of goods and service. Okay, but whereas our government don't pay attention on the buyers in compared to public. Okay, so a socialist system does not have a separate state, because everything is controlled by the government. Here hint of the definition of a socialist system. Hint is what? Hint is what? Everything is controlled by the government. It is a hint of the socialist system. Definition of a socialist system. So socialist system does not have separate state, separate thing, separate control. A socialist system does not have. Here will be applied what every by government everything is controlled, will be controlled. Okay, by government. Okay, this is what this is major hint. Definition of what socialist system. What is mixed economy? What is mixed economy? Here, through our perspective, we can say mixed economy is the both of means both socialist economy and capitalist economy. Then we say when we take participate, when we give what give you can say give what portion from capitalist and from socialist. It is known as mixed economy. Okay, we are not depend on only on only capitalist and not only on socialist economy. Here we are include here we are include both socialist and capitalist. This is known as mixed economy. Let's see through this definition. Mixed economy system have characteristics of both the command and the market economy system. Okay, it's the normal. So about it, main major meaning of this definition of this word understand. Let's look. For this purpose, mixed economic system are also known as dual economic system. So here we need to focus on this word dual. Dual means what? What is meaning of a dual word? Dual meaning word is it will be dual word meaning will be what? Capitalist economy and socialist economy. This is meaning of dual economy. So dual means what? Both. Two. So two is what? As I told you, capitalist economy and socialist economy. But whereas with the dual word, we are using economy word. So it will be what? Capitalist and socialist economy. Okay. So here, this system, this mixed economy is known as dual economic system. Now, through dual, we can understand for this purpose, mixed economy. Okay, clear. In this sentence, we understood what it is known as dual economy. It is known as mixed. It is known as what? Mixed economy is known as capitalist economy and socialist economy. Here will be involved what? Capitalist and socialist economy. Next, we need to move. However, there is no sincere method. There is no specific method to determine a mixed system because it is not a separate system. Okay, it is a mixed system. It is mixed system of capitalist and socialist. It is not a separate. It is not a different system in the economy. Okay, in the mixed economy comes capitalist and socialist. We are using this word again, repeat, again by again, because in a definition of a mixed system, it will be compulsory for the understanding of mixed system. For Indian mixed economy, the government would plan for the economy with the private sector being encouraged to be part of the plan. Means our government, when our government would plan, then our government will think about the private sector, and our government leader can go to the private sector, to the private person, and being encouraged, our government leader will plan for the economy, but with the private sector, it will be compulsory for the economy because in our country, in any area, two sector will be compulsory and two sectors should be compulsory and two sectors must be compulsory. Okay, must be compulsory because one side is organized and the second side is unorganized. One side is public and second side is private. Okay, one side is material are controlled by the government, one side is material are controlled by the private person. Okay, so these two types of a person must be in any country and will be. Okay, clear. So for the Indian mixed economy, so it is what? It is a hint. Why we are using mixed economy? Because our India acknowledgement acknowledged what? Mixed economy, not only not only capitalist, not only socialist. Our Indian government accepted what? Both. Okay, both. You can understand. So the government would plan. So now, whenever our government would plan, then about of private sector will keep will keep will keep in the planning of Indian economy. Okay, our government leader. Clear? Being encouraged, it's compulsory. So here our government leader will say to the private companies what? You are part of the Indian economy. So you can work in our area, but with the condition, with the policy. Okay. So we want to include to you in our Indian economy, in our policy. You can read this policy. If you are agree, then you can say yes, I am agree. If you don't agree, then tell me. But a reason. to don't agree, to don't agree. So we can explain with us, we can explain among us what is your problem. You are not accepting this condition and blessing. So, however, our government would be good think about private companies. Okay. The goal, okay, the era of 5 year plans had begun after this, after the planning. Planning is what? First of all, this plan will be 5 year. In 5 year, we can decide. So 5 year is related to time of prime minister, time of minister is related to time of minister, time of prime minister. So after the planning with the private sector, the 5 year plan had begun. Yeah, and today we can see how much no how many are planning. India have how many planning as a 5 year plans. So okay, now let's understand the goal of a 5 year plan, aim of a 5 year plan, objective of a 5 year plan. The goal of a 5 year plan are what? Each plan had a different priority. Means each plan will decide what it should be compulsory. It should have done compulsory. Yes, compulsory. So first plan will tell you. Then again saying you will decide. Our government will decide what for the Indian country, for the economic country, what we need to next for the development of a country or the GDPs of a country. So our government would plan again after 5 years. Then after 5 years, our government would plan. Okay, but with the private and with the public, with the what need of a society, because society it define what it define with the need of society people, we would plan for the next 5 year plan, and also with the being encouraged private sector, we would plan for the economy, for the India, which will be better. That will be better. So here, what goals are growth. Growth will be should be. You can say growth should be. If we would plan 5 year plan, then after this plan, we look what growth of the Indian country within 5 year. What had what had happened with the 5 year plan in past. So what happened growth? Yeah. So in within 5 years we can see and our government can decide. Then according to this growth in the next 5 year plan, our government would plan. Okay. Okay. Modernization means what? Our government leader accept globalization because it should be compulsory and had it had compulsory. It had compulsory modernization. So modernization, there are there are major factors in to be modernization. Maybe in technology, maybe in agriculture sector. So these are major modernization to be modernization. Self-reliance, equality, and equality to be equality among people. It is so what to survive as a standard living, to survive without any unequality treatment. Unequality treatment. Equality word it tells us. Whereas a self-reliance means what? Depend on itself. Depend on itself. Should be. People should be depend on itself, not depend on other people. So it is major goal for the country. Okay. Here our government will push to the people what to be self-reliance on itself, not on other people. According to you can say employment, our government will say what you need to create your opportunity. You need to do what you need to work. You need to do work for your employment. Why you are depending on another people? Why you are depending on government people? Because you can think, you are woman, so you can think, you are educated person. If you don't educated person, then you can work for your life, for your surviving life. Whatever you see in your surrounding area, then you can imagine, you can decide, you can create opportunity. Yeah, because you are not a tool, a stone, a physical material. You can think, you can move, you can work. This is enough. These are enough to do work, to thinking. Okay, let's move to next. Each plan had a different priority. We had discussed about it. The resources were limited. Means between limited resources, we need to what complete our growth, our need of public. We need to complete within the limited resources. Means unnecessary resources we can't use within the 5 year plan, because it is our plan for the 5 year plan. If we want to what use unnecessary resources, then we can go down in the development of a country, in the development of a GDP. We can down because we are using resources. Resource is not a small resource, will be at higher level because we are using for the people, we are using for the area, for the people, for the Indian country. We can use we can use for the help of another country. So here we need to decide limited resources. Within limited resources, we can achieve our goal. We can give a priority. You can say we can give our services to public within 5 years. Whatever we had decided our plan for in within 5 years. Okay, clear? Then the plan was fair and equal for all. Means it's a simple. It's a simple means what growth will be compulsory to the people. Growth will be compulsory to the India country, any country, and what status, education status, infrastructure. It will be included in the 5 year plan. Whenever our government would plan, then about infrastructure, health, people's education, and drinking water. It's a major problem. You can say it's a major problem. Whereas extreme poverty, we are looking today in our country. So our government decided in 5 year plan, but at least is minimum percentage had reduced. Am I right? Had reduced extreme poverty. Extreme poverty had reduced in minimum percentage. But at least our government think think what about reduce of extreme poverty, about reduce what dirty water. And in this matter, in this 5 year plan, our government would plan about rural people. About rural people. Why I am using rural people, rural living? Because in our country there are a lot of people, and a lot of people are living in a rural areas, in a small areas, in a village areas. That is known as, which is known as what agrarian economy. Okay, Green Revolution. Clear. The plan was fair and equal. So there is a plan would be equal for all. In this within 5 year plan would will not be treated as a unequal. This whatever are provided by the 5 year plan, it would be for the all people, not only one minority is majority. No, it plan would be for all people. Whoever is living, whoever are citizen for the India, So this plan here, citizen is compulsory. Citizen should be compulsory. Why? Because in our country comes people from another country, another citizen from another country. So that citizen won't be included in our what in our 5-year plan. Yeah, citizen of India would citizen of India can make can take profit from the from this 5-year plan, and our government will provide to the Indian citizen, not another citizen from the another country people are coming. So this is not for the another citizen, another country people. This is for the Indian citizen people. Okay, clear? Here we are clear. Growth. So we understood, we have discussed about growth in goals. So here growth word is coming. So growth is what in deeply we need to understand. It refers to an increase in growth in country's capacity to produce. Means whatever are produced in our country, so growth will say what your growth is minimum. So our growth will say. Growth will happen. Growth will happen when our capacity of produce will be at higher level, then it will be grow. Okay, then we can say yeah, it is a growth. So it refers to an increase in the country's capacity of the to produce the output of goods and services. And so through goods and services we can earn money, and this earning money are included in the GDP of the country. Yeah. So here market economy, not unmarket economy. So unmarket economy are not included in the GDP of the country in any matter of the India. In the matter of India development. Okay. Within the country. Within the country. So here meaning of this sentence is what? Meaning of this sentence is whatever goods and produced are goods and service are produced in our country, so it will show us what capacity of the produce of goods and service is higher or low. If it will be higher, then it is what growth. But whereas it will be lower, then it is not a growth. Okay, so capacity it shows us. Clear? In the next slide, growth. About growth we were discussing. About growth we were discussing. And about growth, one sentence we had looked about the growth. Okay. Now second sentence is here. Here second sentence. It implies either a large stock of productivity capital or a large size of supporting service like transport and banking, or an increase in the efficiency of productive capital and service. This is new word. It seems it's like a lot of word and with word, and this is not with understanding like this. Then so it implies. Now let's understand to this word, to this sentence. It implies either a large stock of productivity capital. Means growth will tell us what. Uh, in first sentence, have we what have we looked? We looked growth. What growth is the capacity of the country of productivity. Am I right? Growth is capacity of the country's capacity of the productivity of the produced goods and services. Means how is the capacity? How much is the capacity? How much capacity to your country in the producing of goods and service? So here we are talking about how much capacity, but in the producing of goods and services. Whereas here, if your growth will be at higher level, then you will have what a large stock of productivity. So here productivity is not a normal word. Is a what? Is a it apply in our life. Okay. Some people don't apply this productivity. Productivity is what? Means multiple work you can work. So if in our country are going growth, then it is so what? Our country are doing multiple work because in our country have growth, have growth, have growth. Okay, have a group, have a group. Okay. So here, if any country in any country will have in any country will grow will have capacity of the producing of goods and services, then and also you can say in another word what growth is at a higher level, then that means that country is doing a lot of work because that country will have capacity, that country have capacity to work a lot of, it is known as productivity. In short word we say what productivity means what, we can multiple work, we can do multiple work, yeah, but with the quality, not with the quantity. If our quantity is growing, then with the quality, then we can say that is right. But whereas our quality is not better and our quantity is at higher level, then it will be not better. It won't be better. Am I right? So productivity is known as what? With the quality. Work will be with the quality and maybe with the quantity. But quality is matter in the work, in the multiple work. Okay? It is known as productivity. So again, stock of productivity means a large stock of productivity, not only because we are discussing about a country, Indian country, about a country. So it will be what, a large number. It will be a large number in productivity. Okay, clear? So that's why here this word are being used what when in a country will have what development developed, then that country will have a large number stock of productivity, and through this help that country can do anything whatever that country want, and you can say in growth in development of a country, so depend on that country whatever that country want to do, because that country have productivity, a lot of productivity. So here we need to focus on a large stock because we are discussing about a country. So in a country there will be a lot of people, not at a small level, at a biggest higher level. Okay, clear? Clear. Or a large size of supporting service. What is meaning of this? Means supporting service like transport and banking or an increase. So if any country are growing in the development in the GDPs, then that means what? In this matter, in this services sector are being support, are being support. What I am saying you? I am saying you, if any country are growing as a development, as a growth, as a better situation in GDP, then according to this support, according to this support can grow towards any country can grow towards, okay. But here we need to understand what a large size of supporting service like, okay, transport and banking, or an increase in the efficiency of productivity, capital and service. So here what it will create, it will create this type of service first of all, because it can do, because it have capacity to do increase the service sector, this type of service sector, because any country are growing as a development, as I told you, so that country will be need a lot of people as a service, okay, as educated, as a skilled. So these people, this growth will say what you need to do, keep employed. Okay, so this type of a person will be employed. Or an increase in the efficiency of productive capital and service. Means here words are coming to capital, productive capital and service. So service, meaning of service is different in compared to capital. So growth growth is growing, growth is increasing. So it means what? Capital is growing, capital is going up. Yeah, capital is increasing, and whereas service will be increased. Increase in GDP is a general measure of increase in GDP is a general measure of growth. So here, this type of service person will come in the help of growth of the country. Then that means what? It's a hint of GDP increase. Of GDP increase means it people will work as a it people will work to increase the GDP of the country. So here we can see what any country is growing. So so GDP of that country will be increased. It's a general measure, and here GDP can be measured. Clear? And the GDP means meaning of this sentence is what? This you want to know? Increase in GDP means here in to be increase in GDP it will be normal. Means GDP will be grow. This we we can't stop. We can't stop in increase of the GDP because it's normal to increase. Yeah, because any country is growing on and any country is keeping what employee to the work. So it is over productivity, multiple work, and that country government of that country will think a different perspective, different good plan. So next, the GDP of a country is derived from the different sectors of the economy. First of all, we just understood about the service sector. So service sector is known as tertiary sector. So here is saying what our GDP is derived. Our GDP is derived from the different sectors. So different. What are the different sectors? Here we need to understand. We need to know. So here we need to know about three sectors. First will be primary. It's a simple. Secondary, tertiary. But primary sector is known as you can say basic. No, we can say, but primary sector is known as agriculture sector, whereas the secondary sector is known as what? Industrial sector, whereas the tertiary sector is known as service sector. So from this service sector, our GDP is derived. Okay, namely the agriculture sector, the industrial sector, and the service sector. It's a hint of primary sector and the secondary sector and the tertiary sector. Okay, so from this sector, our GDP is derived. Our GDP is derived. GDP of the country is derived from this sector. It's a clear. It's a simple name. Means here three types of people are doing as a earning money. In this sector, people are doing work for earning money. So this earning money will be included in GDP of a country. Whereas in compare this sector, this person will be different in working. So these people are doing work for the earning, for the development of a country. Okay. So these people are doing work as a earning money. So earning money of this of total these people will be included of a GDP. Will be included in GDP of a country. Whereas the service sector also earning of these people will be included in the GDP of a country. So from this sector, there are three types. There are only three types of a sector. There are only three types of a person who are earning money. So this total earning money will be included in GDP of a country. Okay. So whenever we are understanding, we are discussing about GDP, the Indian territory, goods and services. These are major words you can say about the GDP. Indian territory means country territory. Okay. Second, goods and services. Total goods and services, final goods and services, not intermediate. Total. Gross means total. So total goods and services are included in GDP. Okay. So goods and services, Indian territory, within a given time, within a particular time. It is it. These are hint of the GDP discussion. Whereas GDP earning money are coming from these sectors: agriculture sector, industrial sector, and social sector, services sector. Okay, clear. So these are some words to need keep in our mind. Okay, we can remember. It's a normal. Modernization. To increase the production of goods and services, the producer have to adopt new technology. This is connection with our feeling. This is connection with our work. How can we see? You can imagine. It can imagine by our work. When so technology, importance of a technology are what? Yeah. Importance of a technology will help you in the work. So easily technology can work in your working. Your work can complete within a minimum time. So it is work. It is a hint of a technology. It is a hint of working of a technology. Okay. So this if any person wanted to increase production in any sector, then that person will use new technology. So that producer, that organization, that businessman person have to adopt a new technology. This is known as modernization. With the present time, we need to adapt. We have to adapt a new technology. We have to do adapt a new what we have to do adapt this time. Whatever is working on this present time, we need to look, we need to find out, we need to discuss. Whereas here we are talking about modernization. So technology will come in the discuss of modernization. Okay. So here, what is meaning? In our perspective, in our opinion, how can we say this is what? So to increase our production of goods and services, it will be, as I told you, as I keep tell you, what there are two types of earning way through goods and second will be service. So that's why in the multiple lectures this word used are used. Okay. So to increase the production of goods and services, we have to use new technology. So new technology are made for the people, for the use. Am I right? For the use. So technology it will be better, and a lot of people are using this new technology, but some people don't use. You can say some people maybe lack of maybe may have lack of resources, lack of information, lack of awareness. Yeah, may have. The adoption of a new technology is called modernization. It's a definition of modernization. Okay. Whatever we accept new according to our present time, that is not modernization. But it is the better definition of modernization. But when we accept when we accept a new technology for the our work, that is what that end is about modernization, because we are adapting new technology for our work. So technology will help to us in the work. Work will be completed by the technology within minimum time. Whereas if we don't use the technology, and you can say if you don't use, if we don't use, if people don't use new technology, then we will face what you can say first of all time. We will complete this work will be completed by us. You can say in a maximum time. We can frustrated. We can be frustrated. So here we will we are compulsory to use we are compulsory to use new technology. Okay. However, modernization does not refer only to use of the new technology. Okay, modernization does not refer only to the use of new technology, but also to changes in social outlook. Means in social society, in society, what is happening? Technology are made by the need of public. By the need of public, it's compulsory. Whatever is making, so it so that it are made by the need of public, then it would be run. It would be running because need is compulsory. Need of people will be compulsory for the running of for the running business. Career. So social outlook is what? Social outlook such as recognition that women should have the same rights as men. Means technology will push to people whatever women should have right, and whatever you can say whatever men should have right, and other side women should have right, same right. Women should have same right. Here we can't look what inequality between men and women. Clear? Between men and women we can't look. Why are made technology? Only not a new adoption. Also with the social outlook. What are situation in society? What are situation in our country? What are situation in our in any country? Clear? How? It's clear. So here meaning of if we think what modernization refer only to use or to the use of new technology, no. Yeah, we accept, we can accept what we need to accept. We need to accept is what we need to use new technology, but with the outlook of a society. What are situation in our society? So this may be issue. Okay, but today we are we maybe say what and this type of issue is in our surrounding area. Clear. So social, no, self-reliance. As I told you, self-reliance is what? We don't depend on another thing, on another, no, think is, think want to be better. We don't depend on another person. This is known as what self-reliance. If we depend on another person, means such as government and employment person, in the what in the employment, then we can face a lot of issue, a lot of difficult challenges. So here let's see about the meaning of self-reliance. A nation can promote economic growth and modernization by using its own resource or by using resources imported from other nations. Other nations. Whatever are imported from other nations. So this import this method can be promoted by the government. Yeah, because economic growth. Here word is coming economic growth. So it is so about a role of the government. So a nation can promote economic growth, yeah, clear, and modernization, clear, by using its own resources. Means whatever we have a resource, so we can promote, we can create our opportunity, as I told you. So our nation are getting promoted. Our nation are getting promoted to economic growth, whereas modernization. So role of nation is coming here, because a nation can promote our economic growth, and also you can say in this matter, in this method our government would be involved, whereas a nation can promote modernization. Government of a nation can decide to modernization of new technology by using its resources. Means whatever nation have resources, so its resources our nation, government of nation can think to modernization to promote economic growth using resource imported from other nations. What I am saying you, what I wanted to say you, I wanted to say you, whatever are, whatever we want to import from other resources, so through these resources we can promote what to our economic growth, we can increase our productivity, we can create our opportunity from resources who will be, which will be from another countries. Okay, at least we can create from the other hand, but it is showing us what you don't need to depend through some resources, through some people. You can create your own opportunity, but after some time you can say you are not dependent on another person. Okay, you can create your employment to yourself. Clear? Yeah, clear. So here we are here. The first 7 5 year plans. It's what 7 5 year plan we had understood. We had read. But the first 7 5 year plans means from first till 7, from first to 7 5 year plans gave importance, to self reliance. Means here from first year plan, first and till seven year plans, gave gave importance to self reliance. Means it planning here pushed to the people to be self reliance. Okay, so here we are looking what result of a 5 year plan in the matter of self reliance importance, which means avoiding imports of those goods which could be produced in India itself. Means here in the within this planning here, our government was saying what, okay, you can use resources from other nation, but after some time you can create itself, and what we can stop to import from another country, because we can create products, goods and services in our Indian country. So here we don't need to import from another country, because we can create goods and service within our country, and after this create we can export in another country. So it will be better for the economy of a country, because we are making products for the selling, so it will be included in the GDP of a country. First of all, people are making profit, India are making profit, whereas people can create opportunity itself. Okay, clear? People will have productivity. Okay, clear? People will have what to do something, clear, and through this skill within a country, means you can say a country will not be depend on another country. Okay, so here doing export will be better for the people, for the economy, for the GDP of a country. But whereas if we use if we import if we do import at a more level, at a higher level, then it will be what, it won't be better, because only we are doing import. So here we need to do export. Okay, so here we can understand, we can imagine, more import is not compulsory, more import should not be compulsory, and more important won't be compulsory, won't be better for the economy, for the India, as I told you. Whereas export, more export, it will be better for the economy, for the people, for the country, for the GDP. It will be better. More, but more exports. Okay, the first, we are clear here, till here. Equality. It is important. Equality. Okay. It is important. Equality means our government are okay. Resources are produced by the government, but as a requirement of people, as a need of people, not for all. Our government will think what in our society, in some minorities communities to need, you can say, need to take something, so we can take as a provider. So let's say through this given, it is important to ensure that the benefits of economy reach the poor section as well, as instead of being enjoyed only by the rich. Means here our government will decide, yeah, technology are made for all as a equally. But whereas our government will say what, some resources will be produced by the government to the poor section, to the minorities, because some majorities can raise to the uh, for the what, to the materials or to the resources, but whereas poor sections can't reach to the same resources. You can say education, in poor section education are compulsory. So in resources, so here resources are what, resources are education, universities, colleges, it will be included in the infrastructure. So here education is more important for the poor section. Health is more important for the poor section, for the minorities communities. Drinking water, safe drinking water is more important for the poor sections and for the minorities communities, because this type of a person can't access to can't access to education, can't access to go hospital for their health. Clear? Till here we are clear. Means here, means it is important to ensure, means the government can ensure what we need to provide in this area, because in this area are living poor section people. Okay, minorities communities. So this type of people can't access to education, can't access to drinking, to safe clean drink water. So in addition to growth, modernization and self-reliance, equality is also important. So these are major and these are major and means through modernization, and these are means what, modernization, self-reliance, equality are included in the 5 year planning. Are included in the 5 year planning, because it's major. It will decide about growth, whatever are made technology in another country, then our government will, you can say, our government will improve technology, as you can see in our daily life. Some device, some technology are adopted by the government. Self-reliance is compulsory because we can see in our country, according to India population, uh, unemployment rate of, you can say, number of unemployment is increasing because it shows self-reliance, lack of self-reliance. People not are creating, not are making your own business because people are dependent on government. Equality in our Indian constitution is mentioned, but whereas through 5 year planning, it will be compulsory to post as to post treatment as a equality. So equality and equity, there are difference. But equality means for all people, whereas equality means according to need of a people. According to need of a people. So poor section and minorities will be need to access in some resources, to access some resources. So it is a difference between equity and equality. In the next slide, what your agriculture word you already may have heard. So agriculture. Can we explain this word with the other person? Agriculture meaning of this is simple. Yeah. Means what? Agriculture, farmer do agriculture. In a small areas, in a small areas, people are living. That people, those people are doing agriculture. Okay, let's understand through this. Agriculture, India did not experience any agriculture growth during the colonial period, hence colonial period. Here we can understand, we need to understand what already India did not have, did not have experience, did not have experience. Okay, did not experience any agriculture during growth during colonial period. Colonial period is what? This is period you can say like British rule. So first of all, British ruled on India country. Then second, it is colonial period. Yeah. Then it type of people ruled on India country. During this period, our India did not experience any agriculture growth during this time. You can imagine. So second line is, hence it was the responsibility of the leaders of the country to develop the nation. Here we are looking what through texts of Indian history. Hence, therefore, leader leader had a lot of a task. Okay, leader needed to decide. Leader did needed to decide the future of the India, the future of the economy of India. Am I right? So there are major, there was a major leader who decided the economy of the nation. So you can imagine, already India did not experience in agriculture growth, and it was responsibility of the leaders, okay, of the country to develop the nation. So it was responsibility. Clear? Now the green revolution. Agriculture, about agriculture we understood here. But agriculture, one first of all, in our country, India did not experience in agriculture growth, in agriculture development growth, India did not any experience. Okay, so it was responsibility of the leaders, of the leaders of the nation to develop the nation. Alright. So now the green revolution. The green revolution is what? After agriculture, this word come because sometimes we feel what is the same word. This is the same word. Meaning of this word is the same. No. Agriculture, farmer person do agriculture, that is known as agriculture. Okay, whatever we eat, this food grains come from agriculture. But whereas green revolution means the green happy in agriculture, means through agriculture food food are produced at a higher level. So that is known as what a green revolution means. Agriculture are doing at a higher level. Food and grains are produced at a higher level. Okay, through this sentence, let's understand. First of all, we need to clarify what meaning of agriculture and meaning of the green revolution is not the same meaning. Okay, the green revolution is a term is used for rapid increase. As I told you just what you can understand. What you can understand means agriculture is going on, but whereas agriculture is going on at a higher level, then we say that is known as the green revolution. Rapidly at a higher level, agriculture is going. It's going on. Okay, agriculture is happening on higher level. Then we say that is known as green revolution. So rapid word we can use in the green revolution. It is a major hint about the green revolution. Okay, and here you can see it is used for rapid increase in wheat and rice yield. So in India, wheat and rice, this is food grains. So these are major food grains. These are major agriculture food. Okay. So in wheat and in rice and rice grains, agriculture do more than in India. Okay. You can say through because of a soil. Okay. Where soil will be better for wheat for rice, then that place on that place are doing are used to what are being used as a agriculture to that land. Okay. Suppose here any land. Okay. Land. This is land. It is better for the rice. Then on this land, farmer can do agriculture for the wheat. If whereas this land is suitable for wheat, then farmer can do agriculture in this for the wheat. Yeah. But here rapid word is compulsory in green revolution. Means green revolution is a word used for the rapid increase in wheat and what rice, because in India crop of agriculture of rice and agriculture of wheat are are done agriculture more and more level. The movement of the Green Revolution was a great success. This was happen. This was happen in our country at a difficult challenges at a difficult time. It was happen. You can imagine. So that's why we are agrarian economy. India is known as great agriculture sector. Okay, because the Green Revolution came into India. Okay. The moment of the Green Revolution was a great success and changed. This Green Revolution changed status from a food deficient. So for food deficient is what where we look what lack of food, lack of food. Then we say food deficient means we don't have food. You can say minimum 2 times means. Okay. So when the Green Revolution in India came, then this Green Revolution changed the status of India from a food deficient economy once of the world's leading agriculture nation. This green revolution had changed. Okay, when this revolution came into Bharat, and that's why it is said what the moment of the green revolution was a great success. Clear? It started in 1967. You can imagine, but our independence, our India was independent. Our India became independence on 1947. So just you can say 20 after 20 years. After 20 years, this green revolution came into Bharat because this time was what at a difficult challenges at a difficult time. Now you can say we don't have any problem. We don't have any difficult challenges in food. Okay, and today our government is providing food grants, food security to the poor sections, to the minorities communities. And today our government is responsible for this. Yeah, but on this time, on 1967, who was responsible? But in the upcoming time, our Indian government will be responsible. Whoever will become, whoever will become that government of India will be responsible for the poor section, for the minorities, and the what in the process of food security. So it is dated started in 1967 and till 1978. So you can calculate what? So 10 years. Yeah, till 10 years. It was continuing. What progressively continue 10 years. Clearly. So we can remember and after 20 years the Great Revolution came. So time was 1967 and till 1978 means after 10 years. Till 10 years. This Great Revolution was continuously 10 years. Okay. Whereas when then the Green Revolution came into India, then it changed to the India from a deficient from a food deficient into a one worldest leading in the food category and the food agriculture nation. Okay, and this moment of the Green Revolution was was a great success. So let's move to next. What is a market surplus? Market is already when we go and when we go in where we in market for the vehicle for the purchase of a vehicle. Surplus is what? Sometimes the surplus had studied we had read. So surplus means whatever we have remained. Yeah, after the use of material. After the use of material, whatever we have, that is known as a surplus. For example, you have 90 rupees, then 50 rupees you spend, you did spend. Whereas how many 50 rupees you have spent. Whereas 40 rupees you have now you have how many 40 rupees. So 40 rupees after the use of 50 rupees you have how many 40 rupees. So 40 rupees is your surplus. Okay. Whereas let's say in a market definition of market surplus here given. Meaning of market surplus is that the quantity supplied is greater than the quantity supplied is greater than the quantity demanded. Means whatever is supplied, so it will be greater. It will be greater than quantity demand. Are you getting it? What I am saying you? I am saying you quantity supplied will be greater than quantity demand. Okay, some producers will not be able to sell and their goods in such a situation because it is what without apart from satisfied, apart from used, these are materials. So here maybe producer won't be able to sell and their goods in a such situation. Okay, this was the situation in India. This was this situation in India after the Green Revolution. Means when the Green Revolution came in India, but after the Green Revolution in our India, this was the situation. What was the situation? Means we have a lot of materials. We have a lot of food grains. Then producer can't purchase these food grains because we had a lot of materials, a lot of rice, wheat. So you can imagine this is now. That's why India is known as a greater agriculture. Okay, we are agrarian economy. Why? Because of the Green Revolution. Continuously 10 years, the Green Revolution was continued. So why like this? Why a lot of why this situation won't come? Won't come? Okay. So this is not our problem. Our problem is we need to build a stock for the food grains, for the agriculture food. We need to build a stock. So our government managed managed a, a stock, a building, you can say a stock for this food grains. Clear. The Green Revolution enabled the government to procure a sufficient amount of food grains to build a stock that could be used in times of food shortage. 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 Here, as I told you before this reading, as I told you what about the whatever we had remain food grains, agriculture food. So now government will be responsible to build a stock because in stock our government can keep this remain materials, food grains, agriculture food in stock so that our government can use this for the poor sections, for the minorities communities, and also incoming. Suppose that let's suppose sometimes can come means what food deficient, food shortage. So in times of food shortage, our government can help through this stock materials, stock food grains. That's why we need to do government need to build a stock so that sometimes it time can come so our government can defend with this food shortage, with this food deficient, our people can fight with this time. So here, through this remain materials, procured materials, our government can help to the poor people, to the poor section and minorities communities, and also we don't know this time when will come, but whenever this time will come, then our government will be ready for this fight with this type of times. Okay, because we don't know, and whereas both are compulsory means what poor section minorities communities and this type of time three are compulsory. Okay. Clear here, and this was the situation in India after the revolution because it's not our problem, it's our happiness. The green it's a okay, the green revolution enabled the government to procure. Okay, clear. Public and private sectors in industrial development means in industrial development the importance of a public and the importance of a private sector what are. Okay, we are going talking about this, not only public sectors, differences between public sectors and private sectors, also in India industrial development what are importance public sector and what are importance private sector, what happens private public sector in industrial development. Okay, without any time wasted, let's start. Let's get started. The public sector. The public sector consists of businessmen that are owned and controlled by the government. That's normal because here word are using public sector. Public. So public is known as a government. So whatever are controlled. So whatever are controlled by the government, whatever is owned by the government. And on public service or public can enjoy, can can take profit. Okay, can take a profit such as transport, trade. There are a lot of public services. Okay, so here we are talking about in India industrial development. So the public sector consists of a business that are owned and controlled by the government, by the government of a country. In the next slide, okay. Now we are going talking about the public sector. Public is a word it is used to the government. Means public. Other side is government. So public is known as government. Public service are used by the public, by the people. Yeah. So first sentence already in the back slide we have looked. But here let's again understand about this. The public sector consists of all business that are owned and controlled by the government. So whatever are controlled by the government, it is now public sector. Whatever are owned by the government, it is now as what the public sector. Clear? Second. This organization means this public organization include government agency, state-owned enterprises, municipalities, local government authorities, and other public service institutions. All this is known as the public sector. All this is known as the government sector. Okay. So this type of a department will come in the under of the public sector in the government. Okay. Municipalities. You can when you speak this word municipalities, when you speak public service institutions, then you think what it will be related to public sector, it will be related to government. Then why this type of a department will come in the private sector? Why? Private sector can take taxes from the private sector. That's it. Because private sector is doing in the our country. Okay. So here only, and you can say there may be a lot of work in the connection of what connection with each other, public and private. But main tax is at a higher level. This is main work. Means in the tax, government will take. Government will pay attention on the private. But whereas government private need to for pay tax where to government. Okay, this organization and this tax these are all what organization. Okay, of government. So when we speak agencies, state-owned enterprises, municipalities, local government authorities, and other public service institutions, which in public service institutions can come a lot of. Okay, so here in shorter sentence given but public service institution. So service here in our country because this is largest democracy. Our country is largest democracy. So in our country, there will be what a lot of public service institution. Am I right? Whereas municipalities may be a lot of in our country. Whereas municipalities, because in a area, this type of municipalities can rule in an area. Okay, a small area are ruled by the municipality. Whereas these public service institutions need to do what need to control this This seems what this feels what here we need to find out. We need to focus on this area. So depend on department what are work of that department, then department will do work. And local government authorities. So eight types of authorities will come in the small areas. Eight types of authorities comes in the village areas, in the agriculture sector, in the small areas, in the where rural areas. Okay. This local government, this is member. This will be responsible for the rural areas. This will be responsible for the farmer. This will be responsible for the people of rural. Am I right? Because the local government are what are made for this purpose. Means the local government can decide what will be wrong for the our people, what will be right for the our people. Whatever are provided by the state government, by the main government, they work of local government are what provide to provide resources for the poor sections, for the rural development, for the rural people, and for the farmer agriculture, for the agriculture. So this is work of there are work of local government. Okay, next see. It generally focus on providing goods and services to the general people at a relatively cheaper rates than private companies. Means at least this type of institutions and department members this can help to the people in the providing of goods and services. And our government goods and services are what are distributed by the government by the permission of a government. So this type of goods and services will be distributed by the government, but at a cheaper price. Cheaper price means at least our people, our public can purchase these goods, grains, and goods and services at a affordable price with the quality. Whereas if this type of work do our private companies do this type of do work this type of work, then perhaps maybe private companies can decide anytime price of goods and service. So depend on the price of goods and service is in the hand of private companies, private person, private organization. But whereas our government will decide what at a cheaper price, at a affordable price, at a affordable price with the quality, it will be compulsory. It will be what right for the people in the matter of a distributed of goods and services. Okay. So work of a government is what to provide services, generally goods and services to the public. Okay. Our government comes. We want to become. We want to what stand our representative to our representative. Why? Because our representative leader can work for us, can work for public. Whereas you can see welfare. Welfare is the work of our government, of our representative leaders. Okay, it is work. Whereas a private companies what will do? Private companies will do what? Okay, our private companies will provide service and goods, but whereas with the higher level, with the higher prices, quality perhaps quality could be quality better, quality could be better, but here quality will decide our private companies will decide. But whereas you can imagine, as I told you, so its main aim is to ensure the welfare of the general public within the country. Okay, this welfare is a work of government to provide general public within a country. Now let's see about the private sector. Let's understand the private sector. The private sector enterprises are owned controlled and managed either by individual person or you can say business entities. Business, you can say private companies and you can say individual private companies. You can say, yeah, business companies, individual business person. So this type of enterprise are owned and controlled and managed by the private companies. It's so simple. As we discussed in the in the public sector. In the public sector, we discussed what the business in the business in the public sector are owned and controlled and managed by the public sector, by the government. But whereas here it is owned and controlled and managed by the private companies. It can be a small scale, medium scale, or even large scale organization because it is known as but private companies. So private could be at a scale level, could be at a medium level, could be at a large level. But whereas in public sector, so depend on our government, depend on Department of Government. These get forward to earn a profit from their business operation. Means here aim is what only aim is to make a profit from the itself business. Here you can say here welfare will be, but not only welfare. Here are provide what with the quality. Okay, so sometimes it can be unquantity, unquality. Welfare when do we say when at a whatever price at a cheaper price we can provide, then we say that is known as welfare. Means that person are thinking about public, but whereas our private companies are thinking about itself. Okay, about itself, about making profit. So it will be compulsory. It is in one side, whereas our government sector is in one side. Okay, so work of private sector is only to make a profit from the business. They also focus on taking care of the needs of their customers to survive in the long run. Means private companies will decide what if we want to run run our business, then we need to focus on people, on our customer. What is the need for the our customer? Okay, need first of all we need to find out need of people. What are need according to people? Whereas our government think about it. What what is lack? What are lack? Yeah. What are where are lack of food resources? So here where word will come. Then whereas in the private companies, what word will come about run of a business, to run of a business. Private companies will think, and it will be compulsory as I am telling you, because it must be compulsory. So who are eligible? Whoever are eligible, so to these private companies can go for the for the any work, for the you can say hospital, for the education. If person are eligible, then if a person are not eligible, then person can go to the government department, government institutions, government education, government hospitals. If person are not eligible, then and you will see you will realize what in government aspects in government department people will be at a higher level because of here we we get what medicine at a affordable price. Yeah, this reason can be. Whereas if we want to consult, if we want to what to get education to our children, then we will do admission in private companies and no private education, private schools. But whereas almost family will do will done will done admission in private education because some family wants to get education from the private company from the private education. Okay, clear. Till here we are clear. Till here we are clear. Till here we are clear. They also focus. So here, need of the customer, need of the customer will be compulsory in the running of business. So here in bracket word private sector. So this was the difference between the public sector and between the public sector and what private sector. This was the difference. So here we can see what private sector will be compulsory and private sector must be in the any area, in the any area. But whereas private sector must be involved in the government, in the government competition, in the government department, in the government work. So here only private sector won't involve in the matter of government. Private sector only need to pay tax of government to the government. Okay, only that's it. So this advantage of public sector and disadvantage of private sector is in your own way. Whereas advantage of public sector and advantage of private sector is in on their way. Okay. So here that's it.